You are on the rant couch where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one is for Snotman, who says, rant about the concept of Nofap. If you don't know, Nofap is a community on Reddit that promotes no PMO, which stands for porn, masturbation, and orgasm, for a period of 90 days or more. Many people on the subreddit claim that they get amazing life-changing benefits, like a surge of confidence, little to no social anxiety when talking to people in real life, especially with women, more drive and creativity, better concentration, and more enjoyment out of life in general. I've provided a link below that lists all the benefits. From what I've seen, it's mostly porn and or masturbation addicts that experience these benefits to a larger degree, and less on those who don't have this addiction. Personally, my highest nofap streak was 30 days, and I myself have felt these benefits, and I can say with sheer confidence that it's changed my life for the better, and I think every man should try it at some point, especially with how harmful porn can be, as it makes you objectify women and develop unhealthy fetishes. Have you yourself ever done a nofap streak? If you have you experienced any of the benefits that I listed? Do you think porn is a completely normal thing to watch, and we shouldn't shame people for watching it? Do you think the cons to watching porn are completely subjective and entirely dependent on the person? Here's a link to the subreddit, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have no doubt that nofap has all those benefits. I have no idea how much of it is physiological, how much of it is psychological, why exactly it's having the effects that it does. But I'll tell you right now, there is no fucking way I would do nofap. No fucking way. I can't make it through a day. I don't think I have made it through a day since I was 12. I don't think it's possible. I will fap 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, maybe 10 times in a day. I'm a big fan. I love the fap. And as for, how it affects the way you perceive things and all that, I mean, obviously I am in a relationship. I have regular sex. I would say at least once a day. And, I also fap on top of that because I have Pavlovian boner where you lay down in bed and you immediately get a boner because you're used to doing it before you go to sleep. And also just at other times because I feel like looking at porn or, got horny from seeing May around the house and just had to go bust a nut somewhere. I like it. I would describe myself as hypersexual, so that probably has to do with it. But to quote the great Endless Jest, fapping is the one thing that can get me up in the morning and put me to bed at night. Like, I don't think there's like a linear effect that fapping has. I don't think it's just like, I don't feel sad after I jack off. I know some people who do. I know some people feel like guilty or they feel weird about it or they're like disgusted with themselves. I don't feel any of that. I don't give a shit. I just fap and then I immediately forget that I even did it. It's fun and enjoyable and good. There are no downsides in my mind. I guess I could say that there are times where, like, if I am just doing it out of boredom, it probably means that I am not in the best state of mind, but I don't think it's the fapping's fault. It's more like I'm doing it because I'm already in a shitty state of mind. And it's definitely not the healthiest way to deal with being in that state of mind, but I mean, if I wanted to deal with it in a healthy way, I would do that. I obviously don't want to if I'm in that mindset. But yeah, I absolutely think it can help you in a lot of ways, but like, I don't really struggle with my, creativity or concentration or communication with women or objectification of women. I mean, like, I would say that May and I have fetishes that have sprung out of porn and that you can act on those things without having it literally be like the way you think. Like, you don't have to, just because maybe you, in a sexual play scenario are, deliberately objectifying in some fashion, the woman you're with, like by way of whatever you're saying in the act. It doesn't mean you think that, I think that more people just need to be able to separate. I don't understand how so many people can't separate fantasy from reality, or maybe they convince themselves they can't. Maybe it's just that, when you are lonely and desperate, you feel as though fantasy becomes reality because there's not enough to your reality. I don't know. But, I don't struggle with those problems. Fantasy and reality are two very different worlds to me. As for looking at porn, I do think that porn is problematic not in for the viewing experience but for the fact that it has so many negative repercussions for porn actresses. It's not a well-paying job, it's not good for your health, it's not good for your psychological sanity. There's a lot of illicit shit going on in the porn industry. You know, your likelihood of ending up on drugs, ending up raped, ending up taken advantage of, all of these things are much higher probabilities if you're doing porn. So like I would say that pornography is not even the best kind of sex work to do. Like I think you'd be better taken care of working for a professional fucking brothel who will like really make sure that they are, you know, protecting you and your rights, and like as opposed to some sleazy porn director, you know, who doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, it's just like it's not a healthy form of sex work, and there's tons and tons of documentaries and stories and studies about all the problems with doing porn. And you could say that watching it contributes to the industry. I mean, I don't pay any money for porn. You know, I don't I don't pay for DVDs. I don't pay for any premium accounts. You know, I definitely don't pay any cam whores or anything like that. Like, there's so much free porn. Why would you ever? And I'm willing to believe that a lot of it is made more healthily. You know, like non-GMO porn. You know, is out there. There's people who are just trying to make sexual art for expression, but yeah, it's definitely an industry with a lot of fucking bad sides to it. So I don't think that like watching tons of porn necessarily affects you negatively as much as just the mentality you take towards it. You know, like I don't understand how watching lots of porn is going to make you think of women as objects if you just know that women are not objects. You know, just like keep that in mind, I guess. Like don't let the porn change the way you think. That's the problem, you know. um do I think it's completely normal to watch and shouldn't be shamed? Absolutely. I mean, everybody fucking watches porn. If they say they don't, they are literally lying. I do not believe anybody who says that. I believe if they say that, like, for moral reasons they won't watch certain types of porn, you know, I think anime porn is way more ethical than real porn, so you should watch more anime porn. It's a much healthier relationship to have with pornography because it's, you know, it's all completely fantasy. There's no connection to reality, and it doesn't hurt anybody, you know? And it benefits the people who make it purely. Like, the artists just make money off of you, you know, if you pay for their dojins or whatever. Like, there's nobody suffering for this art to exist, you know? Do you think the cons to watching porn are completely subjective and dependent on the person? Absolutely. I won't say that like there's no chance that the amount of porn or even the amount of fapping that I consume or that I do is a problem for me. Like, do I think that I would probably be healthier or in a better mind state if I masturbated less? It's very possible. Or watched less porn, maybe. But you know, I'm not dealing with any kind of deficit in my life that would cause me to want to do that. You know, it's kind of like you don't go on a diet if you're not fat. You don't go on Nofap if your life is fine. You know, like, why would I do it if I don't have any problems? And so it kind of also makes me think, I mean, maybe there are some people who do it just because they think it's an interesting sounding idea or they're into it for one reason or another. They just want to see if these benefits are real. But like, to me, it's just like, why would I bother? You know, like, why would I go through with that when I'm completely content with the way I'm living now? Which kind of makes me think, would you even do NoFap if you didn't have problems in your life? And if so, is it so much that the NoFap is helping you, or that the sense of accomplishment is helping you, the pride in doing things that way? I don't know. I'd have to see more of the science behind it, I guess. I'm sure there is some, but yeah, for me, not likely to happen. I mean, you've already unlocked, like, if you look, there's the FAP achievement list that used to get posted around on 4chan. You can probably find it just by Googling that. The Iron Will achievement is for 30 days without fapping, and it's like, I've always looked at it as like, that's the final boss. You know, I would do anything else before that one. That would be like if I knocked out every other achievement and I was like, all right, just for the sake of completion, I have to get every achievement, because there's an achievement for getting every achievement. I have to do the Iron Will challenge. But that's the only way I could see myself doing it. I just don't see much of a point.